this is Judgespektre, continuing on with my coverage of Highlander the TV series. Continuing on now with Highlander the series, Season 4. A personal favorite of mine. I like this season for many reasons, the top of which include the fact that two of my favorite characters in the series, Watcher Joe Dawson played by Jim Burns, and the oldest living immortal Mythos played by Peter Winfield, both get time to actually do a little bit more acting, and they have more to do in the season. Now, Watcher Joe Dawson was missing his legs when we first met him in Season 2, and all throughout the series we have yet to actually discover how that happened. In the, I believe, opening, or not opening, it was the actually, I think it was the second episode of this season, we actually get the backstory and see him lose his legs in Vietnam and his friendship forming with another immortal who actually saved his life, and actually meeting a representative of the Watchers, which actually served as his way of being drafted into the organization. Many years later, when this immortal eventually meets Duncan MacLeod and the two are about to fight, Joe is sort of torn between his friendship with MacLeod and his loyalty to his old friend who saved his life. Jim Burns did a very good job acting in this episode, and I'm glad he was actually given the opportunity. It stands out as one of my personal favorite episodes of this season, and I believe the title is Band of Brothers. And as I stated, Mythos is given a bit more to do in this season, as well as his first episode that he really has is Chivalry, where MacLeod is sort of being confronted by an old lover who is sort of unstable and now has her eyes set on Richie, and MacLeod doing his best to try to discourage Richie from doing it, having no effect. Mythos shows up to try to encourage MacLeod that it might be a good time to kill her, and that chivalry is like an kind of an outdated idea, and that he doesn't really like it very much. It was a pretty good episode, and like I said, Mythos had an opportunity to act, and I enjoyed it. The second episode that he actually had more time on, I believe, was called Timeless, in which the cynical character of Mythos actually falls in love with a woman. And not a fashion model either. It's a woman who looks fairly average, and come to find out after talking to her a bit, she's actually suffering from some kind of terminal cancer. And it's just his choice of women is sort of not what you would expect from somebody who's been around as long as he has. It was just an overall well-done episode, and it's probably one that's better for you to actually go and watch it rather than hear me talk about it. It was timeless, I do believe. Another standout episode, I do believe, was Something Wicked, in which Duncan MacLeod actually becomes evil by absorbing too much evil essence in someone's quickening. Adrian Paul was getting pretty tired of playing the same character every week, and it was a good chance to actually see him be evil for a change, and he ate it up. I loved seeing Adrian Paul acting out as evil. I mean, it was pretty good. I actually wish that they had done this earlier in the season and were able to keep him evil longer, and actually see some of the other characters kind of have to step up in the absence of Duncan MacLeod and try to kind of deal with things and get him back on the right side again. But sadly, in the very next episode titled Deliverance, they brought him back to being a good guy again. Nevertheless, it was a very good episode, and Something Wicked and Deliverance still ranks right up there with my favorite episodes in the season. The season finale of Highlander Season 4 is also worthy of note, titled Judgment Day, and second episode being 1 Minute Till Midnight. These deal with Joe Dawson having to face the consequences for breaking the code of the Watchers by befriending Duncan MacLeod and giving him information over all the times they've known each other, and just generally interfering in the Immortals' game. These episodes are well done. If I remember correctly, though, I think that the season finale was actually Judgment Day, and 1 Minute Till Midnight wasn't actually shown until the beginning of Season 5, so I'm not really sure if that qualifies, but on the DVD set I got, both 1 Minute Till Midnight and Judgment Day were both included on Season 4, so I don't really know how that works. Anyway, looking back at Season 4 as a whole, There really isn't too much negative I can really say about it. I thought that it was pretty solid all the way through. Unfortunately, this would be the last Highlander season that I would love from beginning to end, as you will hear in the 2 follow-up videos coming where I will talk about seasons 5 and 6. But that's for a later time. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this, and be sure to stay tuned in the future because my review of Highlander the series Season 5 is coming very soon.